Identify that the dream is true or not?
Sometimes you realize only after some time. Okay? So, for example, you had a dream that, God forbid, someone has died. After some time, you see that person dies. So you realize that this was true. Or sometimes there are some signs in the dream that makes it, very special. For example, some scholars say if someone has a dream of ma'sumin, then that is a true dream. Because never, someone can falsely take the form of ma'sumin in the dream. Or sometimes, there is a message. For example, something very special you understand from a Quran or Hadith text that you never knew this and never heard this when you were, awake. In the book Self-Knowledge, I have mentioned some stories from ulama. For example, one story is a person in his dream learned a poem by Rumi which did not exist in any of available editions of Mathnawi. But after some years, a person who had a manuscript in another country, showed them, and they found this in that manuscript. There is no way to explain this by laws of physics, This person has never heard that, and in none of the books, you can say, maybe he memorized it, he forgot it. But it's not in any of the manuscripts here. Someone in another country has another manuscript that has this, because these old manuscripts, sometimes they are not identical, something is missing, Or, for example, we have other experiences about Allama Tabatabai and his brother, inshallah, I will mention next week, that these are very meaningful. And you can be sure that this is true. So either it's something that future tells us that it was true, or there are some signs in it that show this is special, it's true.
Ladies? A question from the ladies.
Mike Matikato, sorry. So we will repeat the question, please.
I just wanted to ask, like if someone had a dream about Barzakh.
Yes.
Yeah, so would that be true?
Maybe. Because sometimes, yes, the question is if someone has a dream of Barzakh, is it true? And the answer is, we are not sure. Because we have an idea about Barzakh. We have read about Barzakh, we have discussed. So our mind is very creative. Sometimes uses some images that we have of other things and put them together and presents to us when we are sleeping. This may not be true dream. So here our mind has not really got access to some high levels of knowledge, has basically been cheating, Like for example, sometimes there's a country that you have never been there, but for yourself you imagine, and then you may have a dream of it, but it's not real. If it is real, then it has to be something that either, for example, you find it later in some text or, some experiences that some Orafa, for example, has, there must be a source which was not available to you, and so you knew it without having the source, and then the sources later confirm this.
Do you know how to interpret dreams?
No.
One more question? But that's next.
It's not a question.
There's a question, please.
It's not a question, so I don't want to take the question. The two references you made that weren't in the book you mentioned, would it possibly get the two verses after the...
Sure.
Very good. We'll assist, inshallah. Question? Brother Muhammad Hassan?
Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Have the scholars discussed from an Islamic perspective the near-death experience as to what it could be?
Can you repeat?
Yes, the question is, have Muslim scholars studied near-death experiences? Yeah, so for us, it's very easy to explain these things. What is important is to identify which of these stories are authentic. That is not something philosophical or theological. That is something empirical. We have to see how this person is accurate. But from our philosophical perspective, these are very meaningful, very possible. Because, as inshallah I will explain also next week, we have cases of our ulama that they have voluntary death. They can decide when to go through death. And they report exactly the same thing, that how they can go out of body and look at their body. Like, you see your dress hanging on, for example, somewhere, you can see your own body. So, these experiences are very possible to be explained philosophically. For us, it's not difficult. But we cannot trust everyone because we don't have, their background. We don't know, how honest they are or how capable they are. Because sometimes people experience something, but when they want to explain it, they use their own ideas. Interpretation can sometimes suffer people's misunderstandings, misinformation.